In this presentation, we'll be demonstrating the HISyn extension, a natural language programming tool for the Visual Studio Code IDE. Like other natural language programming tools, HISyn is a synthesizer that automatically generates code from natural language input queries. Specifically, its target audience is programmers who are working with domain-specific languages that feature a large number of complex APIs. Compared to standard approaches, which feature data-driven machine learning models, HISyn uses a novel natural language understanding-driven approach, where natural language processing is used to understand both the API descriptions of a domain as well as the user's input query in order to generate the output code expressions. The advantage of this is that it requires no training data and is easily extendable to new domains. Next, we'll be demonstrating this tool using two examples through its integration with the Visual Studio Code IDE, which makes it easy for programmers to interface with the tool and automatically input their generated code into their active program. After installation, the HISyn extension can be accessed within VS Code by selecting its icon in the left side panel. This will open up the extension's main interface, where various commands can be run using the icon buttons, and information can be viewed in its tree-like structure. In this example, we're going to be using the AST matcher domain to build a clang tool for the LLVM compiler, a typical use case for this domain. To do so, we're going to be leveraging both the natural language programming features available through HISyn, as well as additional domain-specific tools available in the extension. To get us started, we're going to use the clang tool template code snippet in order to build the basis of our program. This can be inserted by either clicking on the snippet in the extension interface or typing its name directly into the code editor. So this template builds a tool which simply matches all for loops in a given source file. We're going to make this a little bit more complicated by matching specifically for loops where a single variable is initialized with the integer value 0. To do this, we're going to use HISyn's natural language programming feature by clicking on the play button in the extension interface or searching for the run HISyn command in VS Code's command palette. This will open up a series of input boxes where we first select our domain and then we submit our natural language English query. In this case, I'm describing the code I want by saying find all for statements whose initialization portion declares a single variable which is initialized to the integer 0. Then I submit it to HISyn, where the resulting code can be directly inserted into our program. Then I can save it and then click on the file to directly build this tool into my local LLVM project. First, I give it a name. Here, calling it my clang tool. And once it's successfully compiled, we can actually use this tool to run it against some source files. In this case, I'm going to run it against a file that has 3 loops in it, but only one of which it should match, which contains a single variable initialized to the value 0. We can run it by selecting the file and selecting the run clang tool command available through the extension. Then we simply pick our new tool, and the output will be displayed in a new command terminal. And here we see that the correct for loop was indeed matched. By default, the HISyn extension runs using a HISyn engine located on a remote web server. Currently, this HISyn engine only supports the AST matcher, flight, and text editing domains. However, the extension can also be configured to run using a local HISyn installation, which may feature different domains. To use a local HISyn installation, we can select the status icon shown below to switch to local mode, and then configure the extension by submitting the path to our local installation in the settings. After doing so, we should be able to view and add new domains to our local installation. In this example, we're going to be adding the regex domain for the Python language. To do this, we simply need to submit the API documentation and the grammar documentation for this domain. This can be done in the extension interface by clicking on the Add Domain icon. This will open up a series of input boxes where we first submit the name of our new domain, followed by the grammar and API documentation. Then it will automatically be built into our local HISyn installation and be available for natural language programming. To demonstrate this, we'll do a simple text editing example. So we will hit the play button to run our natural language programming, select our new domain, and in this case, my text editing example, I'm going to be replacing all white space with new line characters in the text Sally sells seashells by the seashore, but only for the first 3 lines. So we can submit this to HISyn and then automatically insert the generated code into our Python file. And now we can run this in a new terminal to make sure it works. And here we see that it successfully edited our text.